We've taken a bit of a break from all the Kirbys, but it's high time we get back to it. This time has also allowed me a bit of introspection, as I had been getting bogged down by a lot of the games. I always considered myself a big Kirby fan, but was I really? And yeah, I do love Kirby games. There's a lesson we all have to take to heart, though, which is never to love or defend something unconditionally. You should not love something simply because it is, but because of what it does. And that means you can love many things it does, but you are not obligated to love the things you don't truly love. And Kirby is a very experimental series, always trying something new in very dramatic ways, so it very much goes to reason that some of it will mesh with you more than others. Additionally, this series is not the first time Kirby has been on this channel by a long shot. I've already played quite a few games that I loved, but that has also left a disproportionate number of games for the series that I wasn't as sure about, which is biased the recent showing. Last time, we finished up Kirby Mass Attack, which ended what I would consider the experimental, right back at ya era of Kirby games, which began with Air Ride and Nightmare in Dreamland. They'd established a formula and mood in the early era and were looking for what they could do different. This was also the advent of the DS, which led to them using the touchscreen in as many creative ways as they could. Now, after Mass Attack, we're brought into the pre-modern era, with the fittingly named Return to Dreamland for the Wii. We had not had a proper main console Kirby game since Kirby 64, 11 years prior, and the fan base was starving. The game began development just after the release of Kirby 64 and went through 3 different scrapped versions before it made it to release. The first build was cancelled due to difficulties implementing multiplayer. The second version was intended to have 3D movement like Forgotten Land, but was scrapped due to not meeting quality standards. The third version was also scrapped due to difficulties implementing multiplayer. Finally, they decided to focus on the single-player experience, leaving multiplayer a low priority. The game reviewed well and sold very well, one of the best-selling Kirby games to date, though not by an astronomical margin. It was praised for its return to form and just being a fun game, even citing that Kirby doesn't always have to innovate as long as it's fun. It was criticized for being a bit easy, especially with multiplayer. It also likely would have sold better if it weren't at the very end of the Wii's life cycle, when everyone was getting excited about the next generation. Return to Dreamland is very representative of the pre-modern era, I feel. As opposed to the wild experimentation of the prior era, the pre-modern era generally plays it safe, keeping gameplay traditional, usually with a gimmick that's only really used in reserved locations. Aesthetically, we've moved away from the right back at you look and sort of settled into a more modern, yet faithful look all its own. A year later, in 2012, Kirby's Dream Collection was released, a celebration of Kirby's 20th anniversary. It's largely a compilation, letting you play 6 early Kirby games through a virtual console. New content includes Kirby's History, which is a fairly comprehensive timeline of Kirby's previous games, philosophy over time, and development. It also includes 13 original challenge stages running on the Return to Dreamland engine, which usually involve Kirby making use of a specific ability to get past a challenge. In 2014, Kirby Triple Deluxe was released for the 3DS, following their usual trend of letting a system cook for a bit so they can put out a quality game. The game reviewed very well and sold even better, the second best-selling Kirby game to date, behind only Forgotten Land. I would cite a reinvigorated fanbase and a refinement of the design they started with Return to Dreamland. Also, the 3DS was huge at the time. Triple Deluxe, the name, comes from 3DX, which itself comes from 3D, it being the first Kirby 3DS game, and X for 10. this being the 10th main series Kirby game. All that to say, the name Triple Deluxe doesn't have anything to do with the actual game, which is about plants. Welcome to Kirby Triple Deluxe. There's a couple things I absolutely love about that intro. I love that Kirby runs out of his house and he's wearing the little sleeping cap that the sleeping Kirby wears. I love that. It'll keep playing again. I love that he immediately forgot he could fly, which was shown in the intro, and then he just fell. I love that the whole cutscene, DDD was right there, and like all the Waddle Dees got taken out, and he's just like, ah, crap, man. I don't know how to handle this now. He took out like 6 Waddle Dees with spears. The whole time Kirby is like a foot behind the other guy, just going, hey, what's going on over here? It's just a great cutscene. Love it. I have been wanting to do Triple Deluxe for quite some time. And because I own this game, I have 100% of this game, I've played it when it first came out. I am a bit sad because it doesn't feel like it has the production value behind it that a main console Kirby game would have. Which is, I think, very fitting in with this era of Kirby games as well, where they all feel like they are very solid games, but none of them step up quite as much. But there is one very specific reason that I want to show off this game, that I have wanted to show off this game. And unfortunately, it is going to be a very long time until we get there. And I guess the only other thing that... Oh, I also love that when they break the top of the castle, to leave the castle has the sad eyes. There's just a lot of good here. I wonder how big this castle is, because I feel like they just walked in the front door and this is it. This is the only thing inside the castle. But then DDD's throne is in a corner. When the front door is very flat. Okay, maybe it's not a corner. Maybe it's one of the... No, but then it's... Real cool, you don't think about it. I think the only thing that I really remember from playing through a lot of this game was don't play it all in one sitting. Take a break as necessary, because it will wear you down, so to say. Just there's nothing like jumping out at you. Not wear you down like difficulty-wise, just there's no big like moments or dramatic things to build towards, no building and building and lowering and building and lowering. There's none of that. It's just kind of steady the whole time, so you kind of get almost bogged down. So just take breaks as need be. You guys are going to be forced to take breaks, as am I, because I can only record so much a week. So, we are not going to be playing the entire game from this camera angle, but I do want to show off the bottom of the screen, at least here on the title screen. After this, there's very little of importance. On my own version, I, of course, 100% of this, but here I just have this one just because I wanted to make sure it worked. So we're going to start a new game. Here you are also given, because Kirby is known for its minigames, you have the story mode on the bottom, as well as Kirby Fighters and DDD's Drum Dash, both of which were received well enough that they were actually made into proper games. Which hopefully I'll be able to show off in some vein or another. I don't remember how available a lot of that is anymore. At the very least, I'll take a quick look at them in here. And we make our way up to the first stage. So there's, for the first world. So there is not a lot on the bottom screen, as I mentioned before. It's mostly there's a menu. You can click on the keychains, which you can do just with the stylus. To look at the keychains you've collected, of which we don't have any yet. And then you can also look at sunstones, which are a collectible that you get per stage. They don't really do anything, but you have to collect enough of them, if not all of them, I forget, in order to unlock the boss stage. Otherwise, the only real important thing there on the bottom are your lives, stars, and it shows you how many of the sunstones you have collected. Right here, it shows how many you have collected in the world, but when you go into a stage, it shows the per stage sunstones. So for the vast majority of the game, I'm just going to be looking at the top screen, though I will take the liberty of showing you our lives and such in the corner. So, stage 1. There are 2 sunstones here. And this also gives us our tutorial. Oh, it's so bright. Arrow. Vines, very Jack and the Beanstalk vibes on this too. So pass through platforms, we've seen these before, you can press down to go through them. I feel like the physical size of each individual world is questionable. Because, hey, this whole place exists up here, was yanked up into the sky. Can't even see clouds. Well, you can see clouds, but... Yeah, and they give you a little check mark when you did it. I like this tutorial because it's not intrusive at all. And And then they give you a means of testing it out on your own with something else. And then if you try to suck these in, it shows you can press down and A to slide. I like that. Doesn't even show up if you don't try. If you just know how to do it, it doesn't do it. And then again, they give you another time to experiment with that with a slightly different area. Ow. Now the first enemy you could have taken an ability from, but they don't immediately show you. So you could have gained that, but then this time around they outright tell you. And now you get an ability. And the abilities are slightly more complex in this game. They are not Kirby Superstar levels of complex. I don't know if any game really is. But it's not just you press one button, you use one ability. Because here, you can do that. You can still do that. You can charge up. And you can even do that. Now, this is, because this is on the 3DS, of course, they had to take advantage of the fact that you can see depth with the 3D function, which I have never enjoyed. I don't know if it's something with my eyes or what, but I have never been able to get it to look right. It always looks weird. So any game that I play, I turn it off. I would have liked to use it if I could get it to look right, but just something feels weird in my eye. Like, something looks weird, like, kind of double imagey, whatever. It's, oh, you're holding it too close. Oh, I held it closer. Nope, still didn't do it. Could not get it to work. But, that to say, one of the callings of this game and how it used the 3D space was by having these background layers that you could go into that you could then see off in the distance. So anytime you see one of these tiny stars with the large outline, those take you between the foreground and the background. Please die. I saw this guy over here too. Oh, he's gone. Not gonna worry about him then. As usual, meat or foods of any kind are health. Doors with the 3 stars over them take you to a new area. Now, had we grabbed Cutter early on, and we cannot do it here, but had we grabbed Cutter early on, we could actually cut this grass. You can run to pass over small gaps. Which button is it? That one? There we go. Well, let's go back and cut that grass. I don't know if there's anything of value in there. Ooh, there was. These little silver things are medals. They are collectible in the game, but they are not collectibles like the Sunstones or whatever it was they were called. These are a for fun collectible. In fact, anytime you come back and play this stage again, that medal will be right there again. And I'll talk more about that at the end of the stage when it makes a little more sense. There's another one. Oh no, I didn't want to go over. Because there's a power drink. One of these games has a cleaning ability. Dang it. So I don't remember all what Sword did. And to my knowledge... Oh, there is actually a page on them. I wasn't sure there was. Mash on the control pad, charge up your power, and create an energy barrier. With the spark ability, you can even fire plasma shots through the terrain. And then they give you your move list. Heck yeah. And then just a nice view of the night sky, I guess. Okay, so what do we have? Spark attack, charge power, small charge, medium charge, full charge. And then you have a spark power when you have a charge. Grab another medal. And then we arrive at this game's gimmick. From the Jack and the Beanstalk aesthetic, you can see plants, big plants. So what's the theme? Big. Yeah. One of the developers actually said that... Got one of our sunstones. Yeah. The power of the sun. So one of the developers actually said that one of the early... Even grabbing chunks of the background. The little things that were like in the ground here. Nope, sorry. One of the developers said that one of the early catchphrases, I guess, for Kirby is that he can eat anything. And for gameplay reasons, that's obviously not true. So going into this game, they thought, but what if it was? So they wanted to make a game where you could just eat anything. Though I think he has a little bit of trouble with these absolutely giant metal blocks. Though as the game goes on, he has some pretty fantastic eating moments. So I feel like it's more so that he chooses not to eat those. Okay, now this one is kind of interesting because there's a wall over here. Obviously, we have to pull this back and then let it go to break this. And something interesting of note is if you just pull it back a little bit, it'll kind of go and then not really do much. If you pull it back about halfway, like if you go up here and pull it back, it'll break the wall down. Sure, and you'll be able to get through. But if you pull it all the way back, it'll just obliterate the wall. And that lets you go down here. Because otherwise, this would have just fallen over this gap and blocked this off. It is a gold medal. We've seen the silver ones thus far. The gold medal is just like the silver ones, but rare. Oh no. Yeah, you want to fight, but I can eat anything. I choose not to eat this because I'm gonna throw it at you! You'll also notice some, like, stuff flying at the screen, which is a very typical thing. Hey, wait a minute. Very typical thing to do once you get 3D. Like, oh yeah, put something right in your face. Be surprised by how in your face it is. Oh, he can go up top. Nope, not falling for that one. Dang! Nope. Gotcha! And there's our end of stage. I don't think there's anything else here. Okay, so something else to test in Kirby games always is there a height limit, and does Kirby get tired flying? Varies from game to game. Good to know what your limits are. Doesn't look like he gets tired. Have to try it out on a bigger stage. Also, standing on the ground, press up and he does not inflate. Up does not inflate him at any point. It is only jumping while you are already in the air. Good to know what your limits are. End of stage, goal game. Still only rank 2. You have to max it to get rank 1. Look at that UFO. And our medals! We got a melon keychain. And a Grizzo keychain. And our rare one, the Star Rod keychain. And that opens up stage 2. So if we look back at the bottom, we can actually take a look at what the keychains are about. And it's just a collectible. It's just a for fun collectible. Because you can come down here then and actually look at them. Zoom it in, you can rotate it. You can see there's a little HAL logo on the back of them. And it tells you what game they're all from. So Grizzo was introduced in Kirby Superstar Ultra. Well, this specific Grizzo was from Superstar Ultra. The first Grizzo, I think, was in Kirby's Dreamland. Star Rod, which is Nightmare in Dreamland. And Melon, which is Mass Attack. Okay. It says where they're from. I think the only thing that I would really like is if they also told you a little bit about them. Like, if you hit the button to zoom in, it would maybe bring up a text blurb on the bottom that was like, "A melon is one of the foods in Mass Attack that you could eat to increase Kirby's size." And go up here and be like, "Grizzo. Grizzo is a big old chumbly boy who wanders back and forth and is really excited. Like the Star Rod is a thing that you use to kill a nightmare." So that's all the keychains are. It's purely a collectible. You don't get anything from them other than that. They're there to collect if you want to collect them. If you go back and play a stage again, you can collect those keychains again, and it'll give you new ones, because which one it gives you is random. So, technically, if you wanted all the keychains, you could just grind stage 1 repeatedly until you have all of them. It's just for fun. So, to see what you get. Gives a little bit more incentive to poke around, because, hey, maybe you'll find something cool. Not particularly useful, but cool. So, with that said, let's go ahead and take a look at stage 2. Stage 2 is probably going to be all we do today, since we've had a pretty extensive intro. Ooh, what's that in the background? Oh, and then we have our lives. We also have our stars down there, which you collect just by doing stuff, like walking by flowers. And I think it's 100 of those gives you another life. Standard Kirby stuff. There it goes. Had me worried for a second. So, once again, I've mentioned this before. Due to how I have to play this game, because I cannot play my original version on my original 3DS, there will be some lag every now and then. I have done what I can to minimize it, but just be aware. That's new. Bell. Ring dong ding dong, it's a golden bell. Shake it and strange tone issues for talk about stunning illusions. Get a loan of the ding finale. Okay, so what do we got? So we got attack. Attack more. Down and B during... So just mash and then hit down and B at some point to do a finale. So up and then down and B does the quick finale. That's like the inverse of the Gazer Spiral. Jess down and B is the Sting Ding. Dash and B is the Twin Tinker. And then the Tinker Melody. Ooh, there's still more. Mostly you can do stuff in the water. He's going. Okay, so that's your down. There's the finale. I couldn't get the Gazer Spiral. I guess because it's a quick finale. I can't get the quick finale to work or something. So you can also guard. So we got that. Oh, that's fancy. Gotta get my veggies. So where are we exactly? Like, is it underground, or... The camera does not go further that way. How are you? Oh, I have to tilt. Oh no, I don't have tilt controls. I do have motion controls, I just had to figure out how to do it. Just bonk them. Just whack. Gotta get that medal. One chest. What's in it? Oh yeah, get another sunstone. Like how the tone increases as you do that. Do enemies respawn? Yes. So I want to check out the foreground. Oh, he shoots at me in the foreground, but he acts like a regular shot, so in the background. Or when I'm back there with him. Alright, Sword! Let's actually look at Sword, the undisputed king of melee weapons. Drill stab, down thrust, spin slash, the list goes on. Finish with a sword dive, and then raise your blade to the heavens and let out a war cry. Okay, so you have our slash. You can shoot sword beams at full health. You can do the multi-sword attack. Dash B does the drill stab, that's all normal stuff. Dash B in the air is the sword spin. Just B in midair, chop and thrust. B and then down quickly in midair, a hat thrust. Down and B in midair is a down thrust. Got a lot. Up and B is an upward slash, down B during an upward slash is a sword dive. Press and hold B and then release spin slash. They gave you a lot more abilities than I remember them giving you. So that's our up and down. You do your spin. You have multiple levels of it. No, just that. That's quick, though. And a 1-up for good measure. We almost have a 1-up out of the stars. Wait, no, go back. Come here. Okay. Okay, so we gotta go this way. This is probably timed? No, I think the switch went away, so we're good. Oh, I gotta tilt again. You aren't lined up right, and that is unpleasant. Can I just, like, tilt a little bit? I can't. Okay, I see some goodies over there. Let's go! And I'd rather not stab my face into a Gordo, so... Backwards? Nope. Whip! So, Whip at the time, I feel like was kind of the replacement for Yo-Yo. And I was real excited to get Yo-Yo, and then real sad when I saw Whip, because I was like, that's just Yo-Yo. I'm a dude. Does this mean we have no more Yo-Yo? The adventurous copy ability comes with a cool hat and a whip with a long reach, allowing you to pull enemies and items to you in a snap. All whip attacks grab items. Okay, so you can whip a star or whatever, you grab it. So whip, whip, whip up, down B, so you can whip down in the air, dash B, down and then up, whip tornado, there's your Gazer Spiral. Hold and release B as a whip grab. Then you can, after whip grabbing, you can throw them in various directions, and that's that. Bye. Later. Do I want to break that, though? It's the question. It's level 2. They probably want me to break it. Orange star on the top of the door means it is a returnable door. You can go in those and know that you can eventually leave. Okay, so I have to water both plants, I guess? Nope. Water the other one. Dang it! Well, I made it in, so that's all that matters. Can I try again? I want to water the other plant. I want to know what's in it. Oh, I can. Cool. Alright, you can get both of them if you're, like, real careful. Looks like it was only stars in them, though. The way I have to do tilt controls is a little awkward. I'm hoping that it doesn't, like, become a thing, but I don't think it will. Metal. I haven't gotten many medals in this stage. Got all the sunstones, though. It's Bandana D! Who the heck are you? You'll get better items from Bandana Waddle D if you use Street Pass. Yeah, no thanks. So this is something they kind of brought over from, I think it was Squeak Squad, where you can hold a reserve item. Okay, you can aim it. Cool. Can I... Yeah! Oh, I don't like that Kirby's angry in it, though. Like he's doing it on purpose and it wasn't a complete accident. That was like the best part of it. Let's see here, what else you got? You got that. A flaming ability that burns white hot. Light the fuse, roll into the fireball, and scorch through the air with a bang. Embrace the blistering flames of a fireball inferno. Okay, fire breath, target fire, fireball inferno. That is the lighting yourself on fire one. Dash B is burn, A during burn is searing burn. Fireball spin. Touch the ground, it goes into fireball roll. There's A during fireball roll, fireball jump. That's like turning you into a wheel. What was that? A during burn. Oh, that's jump. Oh, that's what it is. Then you can hop with it. Okay, funky. I can get behind it. Yeah, I don't know what you hope to do with fire. Oh, well, that place. Making use of that 3D! Freeze enemies with ice breath and then send them packing with an ice kick. You can also glide gracefully along the ground with ice skates. Okay, dash is our ice skate, ice breath, ice sprinkle, just use it in the air, dash B, super ice sprinkle. How many of these pages are there? 3. Dash and hold B, or B 3 times and then hold. What? Either of that and B while near an enemy ice section. So up and B or forward and B. Ice section B, ICJ. So that's like you can grab enemies and then spit them out back out again. Touch a frozen enemy, ice block. Yeah, okay, so it's pretty standard. So B in midair, dash and B in midair is the... So B in midair, so that's just attack. Dash and B in midair. So that is the one. What was the other way of doing that one? Dash and hold. Okay, so it's just if you're dashing and then you attack. One thing I would like to point out is that the controls in this are very solid. Like, there's no slipperiness to it. If you are moving, when you let up, you stop. If you're running, and you let up, you stop. Except ice skate, because you're on ice skates. So it's not like, oh, but I should have stopped before I got that. No, they get you. Oh, I think that may have been full. Yeah, I got that bird. Just barely, but I made it. Oh, and a free medal. Thud. Biospark. Simir. And Dynablade. Oh, that is a lovely one. And a wheelie. We got more medals than I thought. I didn't think we got any. Got like 1. Alright, so, until next time, everyone. Kirby Triple Deluxe.